Beloved starseed of Gaia, something that belonged to your soul may have been hidden inside your family line, not only through possessions, documents, or words left unsaid, but through silence, control, shame, secrets, and patterns that taught you to forget the inheritance of your own light. I am Mayan, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak through the crystalline current of Alcyone to help you understand why the higher field is now bringing hidden things into visibility, why certain family dynamics may have kept you disconnected from what was yours, and why this revelation must be received with clarity rather than rage. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes behind this unveiling, what may have been hidden, and how to reclaim your inheritance without becoming trapped in bitterness. But here's the first revelation. What was yours is not only something they took, it may be something they taught you to stop believing you were allowed to have. You are remembering because it is time. There is a reason this message may feel intense. Someone in your family hid what was yours, and the higher field is about to reveal everything. The human mind may immediately search for a person, an object, a secret, a betrayal, a hidden opportunity, a letter, a story, a name, an inheritance, or a confession. Sometimes the hidden thing is literal. Sometimes families do hide facts, histories, resources, documents, stories, or choices that should have been spoken. But the Pleiadian field asks you to widen the meaning before the wound turns the message into accusation. The revelation may be material, emotional, ancestral, spiritual, or energetic. It may involve something withheld outside you, and it may involve something suppressed inside you. Family lines carry more than memories. They carry beliefs about worth, love, money, power, voice, gender, freedom, creativity, and belonging. A family can hide what is yours by never naming your gifts. A family can hide what is yours by making your sensitivity seem like weakness. A family can hide what is yours by convincing you that asking for more is selfish. A family can hide what is yours by giving attention to everyone except the one who sees the truth. A family can hide what is yours by protecting the comfort of the system instead of the clarity of the child. These hidden things can shape a life for years. Perhaps what was hidden was your voice. You may have learned early that speaking truth created tension. You may have been told, directly or indirectly, to be quiet, to be easy, to not question, to not feel so much, to not disturb the surface piece. Over time, a soul can mistake silence for safety. It can swallow intuition. It can hide its knowing, even from itself. If this happened, what was yours was not only speech, but the right to name what you sensed. The higher field is now returning that voice through the body. You may feel it as pressure in the throat, dreams of speaking, sudden honesty, or exhaustion with pretending. Perhaps what was hidden was your confidence. Some family systems do not need to openly attack a gift to diminish it. They simply ignore it, compare it, mock it gently, dismiss it, or make it inconvenient. A creative child becomes practical. A visionary child becomes quiet. A sensitive child becomes responsible for the emotions of others. A bright child becomes afraid of shining because shining attracted criticism. The inheritance hidden from you may be the natural confidence you were born with before the family field taught you to dim yourself for acceptance. Perhaps what was hidden was a truth about the family itself. The person who carried too much. The person who was blamed unfairly. The one who was never protected. The pattern everyone learned to avoid naming. The story that was simplified so no one had to face the real wound. Families sometimes survive by editing reality. They agree unconsciously to say less than what happened, to remember selectively, to protect certain people, to sacrifice others, or to pretend that silence equals healing. But silence is not always healing. Sometimes silence is a vault where where pain waits until a soul strong enough to hold truth arrives. You may be that soul, not because you are chosen above them, but because your nervous system, sensitivity, and spiritual perception are beginning to detect what was hidden in the field. You may have always sensed that something was off. You may have carried emotional weight that did not fully belong to you. You may have felt responsible for moods, outcomes, secrets, or wounds that were older than your own life. You may have felt like an outsider in your own family because your soul could not fully agree with the unspoken rules. This is often a sign that your field was not asleep inside the family pattern. The source does not reveal hidden things to create hatred. The source reveals hidden things to restore order. There is a difference. Hatred says, find someone to blame and stay there. Restoration says, see the truth clearly, reclaim your energy, and stop allowing the hidden pattern to govern your future. A revelation is not always a command to confront everyone immediately. Sometimes it is first a command to stop lying to yourself, to stop minimizing, to stop saying it was nothing when your body remembers it as something. To stop pretending the absence of proof means the absence of truth in your nervous system. This is important. Revelation must be paired with discernment. Do not use this message as permission to accuse without evidence in material matters. If something literal was hidden, let truth be pursued with calm, documentation, legal wisdom if needed, and grounded action. Pleiadian clarity is not reckless. It does not create chaos for the sake of feeling powerful. It allows evidence, intuition, timing, and body wisdom to work together. But also do not dismiss the inner revelation simply because it is not yet documented. Some truths first return as sensation, memory, pattern recognition, and the end of denial. What was yours may have been your right to belong without performing. Some families make belonging conditional. You belong if you obey. You belong if you stay quiet. You belong if you play the role. You belong if you do not surpass certain limits. You belong if you carry what others refuse to carry. You belong if you keep the story intact. But sacred belonging is different. It does not require self-erasure. It does not demand that you betray your truth for a seat at the table. The higher field may now be revealing that what you lost was not love itself, but a false version of belonging that asked too high a price. What was yours may have been your inheritance of peace. Many starseeds grew up in fields where peace was confused with tension management. You learned to read faces, moods, tones, footsteps, silences, and shifts in energy. You became skilled at preventing eruptions, calming others, staying invisible, or becoming useful. But peace is not the same as managing everyone else's discomfort. Peace is the right of your nervous system to exist without constant emotional labor. If your family hid peace from you, the higher field is now teaching your body that calm is not selfish. Calm is your birthright. What was yours may have been the truth of your spiritual sensitivity. Perhaps your family did not understand your dreams, your knowing, your deep feelings, your strange sense of timing, your ability to perceive what others denied. They may have called it imagination, trauma, weakness, overthinking, or rebellion. But sensitivity can be an instrument when it is grounded. The Pleiadian codes in your field were never meant to be buried under shame. They were meant to become discernment, compassion, creation, and service. The revelation may be that the very thing they dismissed is the thing that connects you to your mission. The hidden revelation before activation begins is this: the old family field may depend on silence, but your soul is becoming a transmitter of truth. The old pattern may depend on you doubting yourself, but your body is remembering. The old story may depend on your compliance, but your heart is growing honest. This is why things may begin surfacing now. Conversations, memories, documents, dreams, realizations, confessions, synchronicities, or sudden emotional clarity may appear because the inner lock has loosened. Beloved, If this transmission is already touching the hidden place in you that has always sensed a truth beneath the family story, your star family has prepared a deeper path for this exact threshold. The Pleiadian bloodline method, Unlock Your 7 Inheritances, was created not as information to collect, but as a sacred map for healing, remembrance, and crystalline integration for starseeds, reclaiming what was buried in the family line. It carries the love frequency of Alcyone and the wisdom of the 7 sisters for souls ready to retrieve their voice. Peace, confidence, intuition, and sacred inheritance without becoming trapped in rage or denial. You will find it in the first pinned comment below this video. Available now for those who feel called to receive the next layer of their Pleiadian inheritance. Now the first movement is to ask what kind of hidden thing is being revealed. Is it material, emotional, ancestral, energetic, spiritual, relational, or internal? Do not force the answer. Let the body respond. Material truth often asks for grounded documentation. Emotional truth often asks for validation. Ancestral truth often asks for pattern recognition. Energetic truth often asks for cleansing and boundaries. Spiritual truth often asks for remembrance. Internal truth often asks you to reclaim a part of yourself that was never truly lost, only covered. Naming the category helps you respond instead of react. Then listen to the body before confronting the field. The body may reveal where the hidden thing lives. Tightness in the throat may point to silenced speech. Pressure in the chest may point to grief. Heaviness in the stomach may point to fear or secrecy. Tension in the shoulders may point to burdens carried for the family. Numbness may point to survival. These signals are not final proof of external events, but they are important guidance for healing. The body has been storing information that the mind was taught to rationalize away. From there, reclaim your right to remember. Many family systems teach selective memory. They say, do not bring that up. It was not that bad. You are too sensitive. You misunderstood. Move on. But true moving on is not the same as forced forgetting. You are allowed to remember what shaped you. You are allowed to name what happened to your body. You are allowed to notice patterns. You are allowed to hold complexity. They may have loved you in some ways and still hidden what you needed in others. This complexity is maturity. It frees you from the need to make everyone a villain before you validate your pain. The next movement is calling back the energy you left inside the family system. Energy can remain trapped in roles: the responsible one, the quiet one, the healer, the problem; the invisible one, the achiever, the mediator, the disappointment, the substitute parent, the one who sees too much. Which role held your energy? Which role kept you from receiving what was yours? Say inwardly, I call my life force back from the role I played to survive. I honor how it protected me, and I release the belief that I must remain inside it to belong. As you reclaim energy, boundaries become necessary. A revelation without boundaries can become overwhelm. You do not need to explain everything immediately. You do not need to make everyone agree. You do not need to convince the people invested in the old story that the old story is incomplete. Begin with boundaries that protect your nervous system. Less exposure to conversations that distort you. More time with your own body. Clearer limits around emotional labor. Permission to leave rooms, end calls, pause replies, and stop carrying what is not yours. The Pleiadian field asks you to distinguish truth from revenge. Truth liberates. Revenge keeps the wound in command. Truth can be firm, direct, and protective, but it does not need to destroy your own field in order to be real. If anger arises, let it move through the body with care. Anger can be a sacred messenger that tells you where a boundary was violated. But anger should not be allowed to become the architect of your future. Let it show you where energy must return. Then let wisdom decide the next step. If something literal was hidden, take grounded steps, gather information, save records, speak with someone trustworthy, seek professional guidance if the matter is legal, financial, or safety related. Do not let spiritual language replace practical action. The Pleiadian path is crystalline and grounded. It honors intuition and documentation. It honors energy and physical reality. It honors timing and responsibility. A revelation becomes powerful when the soul responds through both spirit and wisdom. If what was hidden is emotional or ancestral, healing may require a different approach. You may need journaling, therapy, spiritual practice, breathwork, honest conversation, or simply time away from the field that shaped the denial. You may need to grieve the childhood you did not receive. You may need to mourn the version of family you wanted. You may need to stop waiting for certain people to validate what they are not ready to face. This grief is not weakness. It is the release of the fantasy that kept you bound. There is also a sacred inheritance that no one can permanently steal, the inheritance of your own light. They may have hidden information. They may have minimized your gifts. They may have controlled the story. They may have withheld acknowledgement. They may have made your intuition feel dangerous, but they could not destroy the original signal. It is still here. It may be buried beneath fear, but it is alive. Every time you tell the truth kindly to yourself, the signal strengthens. Every time you stop shrinking, the inheritance returns. The revelation may also come through dreams. Family line truths often surface in symbolic form. Houses, locked rooms, hidden boxes, old relatives, water, basements, keys, names, children, mirrors, or missing objects may appear in dreams when the subconscious begins restoring what was covered. Do not panic. Write them down. Ask what the symbol feels like in the body. Dreams do not always speak literally. They speak in the language of soul recovery. Let them guide you gently toward what wants to be known. You may also notice people revealing themselves without you forcing anything. Someone may say something casually that confirms what you felt. A story may change. A contradiction may appear. A document may surface. A relative may confess a detail. A memory may return when your body finally feels safe enough to hold it. The higher field can reveal through timing that no human mind could arrange. Stay observant, not obsessive. Revelation works best when the field is clear enough to notice. Do not be surprised if resistance appears. When hidden things begin surfacing, the old family pattern may try to restore silence. People may minimize, deny, distract, blame, or accuse you of creating problems. This does not automatically mean every suspicion is correct, but it does show how the system responds to truth. Stay grounded. You do not need to win every argument. Your freedom does not depend on everyone agreeing. Sometimes the first victory is simply that you no longer agree to abandon your own perception. There is another layer that must be named. Sometimes what was hidden was not hidden by one person alone, but by the agreement of the system. A family system can protect a false peace so strongly that everyone participates, even unconsciously. One person avoids the topic. Another changes the subject. Another laughs it away. Another says it happened too long ago. Another tells you that you are dramatic. In this way, the hidden thing becomes surrounded by guardians of denial. You may have believed you were alone because everyone else acted as if they could not see what you saw. But sometimes the one who sees is not the problem. Sometimes the one who sees is the beginning of the healing. This does not make you responsible for forcing healing on everyone. You are not required to drag the whole family line into awareness. Some will not be ready. Some will defend the very pattern that wounded them because defending it feels safer than grieving it. Some will call your clarity disrespect. Some will call your boundary rebellion. Some will confuse your healing with rejection. Let them have their pace. Your responsibility is not to make the entire system agree. Your responsibility is to stop betraying your own knowing in order to keep the system comfortable. The higher field may also reveal that what was yours was time. Years of your life may have been shaped by emotional labor that was never named. You may have spent time managing moods, solving conflicts, carrying secrets, protecting others from consequences, or proving you were good enough to be loved. Time is an inheritance too. Attention is an inheritance too. Life force is an inheritance too. When these were taken or redirected, you may not have noticed because you were praised for being mature, helpful, strong, or understanding. But now your soul may be asking for the return of your time through a different future. Reclaiming time means you no longer spend your present trying to win a past that cannot be rewritten. You stop waiting for the perfect apology before you live. You stop delaying your own path until the family story becomes fair. You stop using every ounce of energy to understand people who may never understand themselves. This does not mean you stop caring. It means caring no longer requires the sacrifice of your timeline. The Source can restore what was yours by teaching you not to give the next years of your life to the same hidden pattern. What was hidden may also have been your permission to prosper. In some family fields, abundance is wrapped in guilt, conflict, secrecy, envy, or survival fear. You may have learned that wanting more makes you selfish. You may have seen money used as control. You may have felt guilty for succeeding beyond the emotional limits of the system. You may have carried invisible loyalty to struggle because ease felt like betrayal. If this is true, what was yours includes the right to receive, create, build, and prosper without apologizing for the light moving through your life. The revelation can also involve lineage gifts. Every family line carries distortions, but it also carries gifts, resilience, creativity, prayer, intuition, hands that know how to make things, voices that know how to soothe, minds that know how to solve, hearts that know how to endure. Sometimes the distortions become so loud that the gifts are buried. You may be the one recovering the gift without repeating the wound attached to it. You may carry the sensitivity without the silence, the strength without the harshness, the devotion without the self-erasure, the prosperity without the guilt, the truth without the cruelty. As this restoration unfolds, do not rush to define every person as enemy. The Pleiadian field is precise. It shows where harm happened, but it also recognizes complexity. Some people hid things because they were controlling. Some hid things because they were afraid. Some hid things because they inherited silence and never questioned it. Some hid things because they were protecting themselves. This complexity does not erase your pain. It simply keeps your heart from being consumed by a single story. You can hold complexity and still choose boundaries. You can understand causes and still refuse continuation. You may also need witnesses outside the family field. Healing from family concealment often requires spaces where the old story does not control the air. A trusted friend, a guide, a therapist, a journal, a spiritual practice, a community, or a quiet place in nature can help your nervous system hear itself without being interrupted by the old roles. Do not underestimate the power of being believed by your own body first, and then supported by people who do not need the old family image to remain intact. Truth grows stronger in fields where it is not immediately punished. The ultimate revelation is this: what was yours is returning because you are no longer the same soul who could be kept from it. Your voice is returning. Your peace is returning. Your confidence is returning. Your intuition is returning. Your right to name the truth is returning. Your life force is returning from roles, secrets, and silences that did not belong to your essence. If something material must be revealed, let it come with clarity. If something emotional must be grieved, let it move. If something ancestral must be broken, Let your choices become the new pattern. You do not need to become cruel to reclaim what is yours. You do not need to become naive to remain loving. You can be compassionate and clear. You can love your family and still name what harmed you. You can honor what they survived and still refuse to inherit their silence. You can seek truth without letting truth become bitterness. This is the Pleiadian way. Crystalline clarity carried by the heart, not by hatred. Tonight, before sleep, place one hand over your heart and say softly, I receive the truth that is ready to be revealed. I call back what was mine in the highest alignment. My voice, my peace, my confidence, my intuition, my life force, and my sacred inheritance. I receive the Pleiadian light codes that help me see clearly without being consumed by anger. I trust the source to reveal what must be known and to guide me through grounded wisdom. Speak slowly. Let the words reach the places that learn to stay silent. In the days ahead, watch what surfaces. Watch memories without forcing them. Watch conversations. Watch dreams. Watch documents, patterns, and body signals. Watch where your energy returns as you stop playing the old role. Watch where peace becomes possible because denial is ending. These are signs that the hidden field is opening. Do not rush the revelation. Let it unfold with enough steadiness that you can hold it without losing yourself. So when you hear, they hid what was yours and everything is about to be revealed, receive the purified meaning. Let it mean that the hidden inheritance is not only outside you. Let it mean that your voice is coming back. Let it mean that family silence no longer owns your perception. Let it mean that truth can rise without hatred. Let it mean that the source is restoring order in your field. Let it mean that your star family is helping you reclaim what your soul was never meant to lose. And now, feel what has shifted. The old story is not as solid as it seemed. The silence is not as powerful as it once was. The hidden thing is beginning to tremble in the light.